The easiest way to make trees recede with watercolor. On our recent trip to California, I saw this beautiful watercolor painting that had trees receding into the distance in a really simple way. What this artist did was put down a first wash of color, and while it was still wet, they put in trees and let those trees just dissipate into that wet paint. Watercolor is a little bit tricky like this, but if you practice, you will get the hang of it. You don't want to put this paint on when it's still super wet. You need to let it dry a little bit so the color still holds. After you put in your blurry trees, you're going to want to let everything dry. Use the back of your hand to see if your painting is dry or not. If the paint is still a little bit wet, it will still feel really cool to the touch. So once everything is dry, I'm going to mix in a darker color for my trees, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint regular trees over those blurred trees that I put in the background. You can see as I'm doing this, those trees that I put in the background really recede into the distance, and although you can't really make them out, they are still there and indicate that there are trees back there. Watercolor paints offer you a really simple and powerful way to suggest things being in your painting without having to do much work. Voila, trees in the distance.